Howdy everyone, it's Reese, aka Bearman Prime here on this January the 12th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. As always, check the card in the top right hand corner for the rest of the playlist so you're keeping up. And make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you're keeping up going forward. So yesterday we talked about Sodom and Gomorrah and how they were destroyed because of their sinful and decadent ways. We're going to go back to Abraham and Sarah now. Between chapter 19 and what we're going to read in chapter 21 today, we have seen that Isaac was born. Now, before that, though, there was a bit of controversy there where Sarah still didn't believe what God had promised, what God had told them. And so she took matters into her own hands and told her husband Abraham, "Go sleep with your slave Hagar." Hagar was an Egyptian slave in Abraham's house in the time. And so Abraham relented and slept with Hagar and produced a son through her named Ishmael. Okay? So Ishmael is technically Abraham's firstborn son, but he is not the son of promise that God foretold. God told that Sarah would have the son, that the blessing of God would come through Abraham and Sarah, not Abraham and Hagar. And so we're going to pick it up from there in chapter 21, starting in verse 8. Isaac continued to grow, and soon he was old enough to begin eating solid food. So Abraham gave a big party. Sarah saw Hagar's son playing. Hagar was the Egyptian slave woman who gave birth to Abraham's first son. Sarah said to Abraham, "Get rid of that slave woman and her son. Send them away. When we die, our son Isaac will get everything we have. I don't want that slave woman's son sharing these things with my son Isaac." This upset Abraham very much. He was worried about his son Ishmael. But God said to Abraham, "Don't worry about the boy and the slave woman. Do what Sarah wants. Your descendants will be those who come through Isaac. But I will also bless the son of your slave woman. He is your son, so I will make a great nation from his family also." Early the next morning, Abraham took some food and water and gave them to Hagar. She carried them and left with her boy. She left that place and wandered in the desert of Beersheba. After some time, when all their drinking water was gone, Hagar put her son under a bush. Then she walked a short distance away and sat down. She thought her son would die because there was no water. She did not want to watch him die. She sat there and began to cry. God heard the boy crying, and God's angel called to Hagar from heaven. He said, "What is wrong, Hagar? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy crying there. Go help the boy. Hold his hand and lead him. I will make him the father of many people." Then God allowed Hagar to see a well of water. So she went to the well and filled her bag with water. Then she gave the water to the boy to drink. God continued to be with the boy while he grew up. Ishmael lived in the desert and became a hunter. He learned to shoot a bow very well. His mother found a wife for him in Egypt. They continued to live in the Paran desert. All right, so here we have, Isaac and Ishmael. Okay, Ishmael is the firstborn, but he's not the chosen one. Isaac is the secondborn, but he is the chosen one. So we have that dichotomy there. And Sarah, even though sleeping with Hagar was her idea, Ishmael was her idea, Sarah, in her defiance and her arrogance, tells Abraham, "Get rid of them. I don't want to share anything that Isaac is going to have with Ishmael. It all belongs to Isaac." And so, and Abraham's just like, really? Can't work it out? Oh, okay, fine. So Abraham relents and he sends Hagar and Ishmael away, even though he's very sad. But God promises him, "Hey, I'm going to look after them. Don't worry about them. I'll look after them." And he still does that today. Even though Israel are the chosen people, the chosen nation. Remember, all nations, all peoples are to know God through Israel. And that means us, with us Gentiles. Gentiles, the term that we use for non-Jews, non-Israeli people. And so this is an example of that. God is looking after the Gentiles, even though we may not know him as well as the nation of Israel do. He's looking after Ishmael, he's looking after Hagar, and he provides for them and takes care of them still, regardless. Because we are his creation. We are his children still. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I sure do appreciate it, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.